Good evening, everybody. I'll call to order the Tocqueville City Planning Commission meeting of August 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Welcome, everybody. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Allison, and then we'll go from there.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Commissioner Harrison, would you give us opening prayer of beliefs?
Yeah, I'll say the prayer, okay? Our dear Heavenly Father, we're grateful for the opportunity we have to meet tonight as a planning commission. We ask that we'll be able to have a spirit of wisdom as we deliberate decisions to be made tonight, and we'll be able to make the best decision possible for the citizens of Tocqueville and in compliance with our ordinances as well. And these things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Okay, anybody have a statement of beliefs that they want to share with us tonight? Thank you. Disclosures or declarations of conflict of anything that's on the meeting tonight by any of the commissioners? No disclosures or conflict. Approval, can I have a approval of the agenda order?
I move to approve the agenda order.
We have a second?
Second.
We got a first approval and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain as I wasn't here last month.
Okay. Item number C, consent agenda. Review and possible approval of the meeting minutes from July 8th, 2026 Planning Commission meeting and July 21st, 2026 Special Planning Commission meeting. So we only had 3 of us here for the special, I think. And then on the others, let's do 1 minute at a time. How about July 8th, 2026? Do we have any corrections, deletions, additions, or a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the minutes from July 8th, 2026.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye. I abstain
Okay.
again. I was absent for that as well.
I have an abstention. Okay, on the special meeting on July 21st, I think it was us 3 that were here. Do we have a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll make a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Abstentions? We're
Yeah,
there.
I abstain.
Okay, we'll go to item number D. Number 1, preliminary site plan application for Van America, submitted by Chase Stratton of Interstate Rock Products, Inc., on behalf of Desert Sands Development, LLC, for tax ID T-BRG-1-4-BR. Is the applicant here or their representative? Can they please stand and identify themselves and present?
I'm Chase Stratton with Interstate Rock Products.
Can you present what you are here tonight for?
Yeah, so this is up in the Boulder Ridge, and this is just east of the Maverick that I think you guys have seen. And this is for Van America. It's a mixed-use building where they're going to actually, so they're like a camper van upfitter where they go in and modify mostly Mercedes-Benz vans for to go out and do camping and travel. So this is where they'll actually do their upfitting, do some maintenance on, if anyone has problems, there's a breakdown, they can come and do maintenance, and also retail space to sell, obviously sell the vehicles, but also sell a lot of their accessories and stuff that they use in upfitting those vans. So yeah, this is just the site plan for the new operations. They're over in St. George right now off of Sunset. They're in actually 3 different buildings, and they're trying to find one building, and they like this place a lot.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
So it's like overlanding for camper vans, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
I looked at the website. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for a while, and this is kind of going to be their like headquarters place as they kind of try to expand a little bit and grow.
Great.
It's great.
Staff,
I appreciate you'll be doing retail there.
Yeah.
That'll help the city.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'll have like their back office, a lot of their back office will be there as well. So like their accounting, business, marketing, all that stuff will be in there. And then I want to say about maybe a fourth or a third of the building, probably a fourth of the building will be all their retail place.
So they will sell the vehicles there too?
Yep, they'll sell the vehicles and then they'll sell like all their accessories. They have a couple other businesses that are kind of related to it. They have another business. It's called, they're just starting it up. The acronym is AOG, but it's accessory overland stuff. So
Oh, okay.
accessibility. So they do a lot of stuff with camper vans for people that have accessibility needs.
That's great.
Retrofitting the vans for wheelchairs and other needs like that. So that would be
Wow.
they're looking after they get up and going at this location. They actually are, they are actually looking at land across the street too for that another facility in the future.
That's great.
Yeah, some of those vans are like 200,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I looked on there,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
customize and you can build what you want. They build, yeah. Yeah, they're 200,000.
Yeah, they're beautiful though.
Yeah.
I'm sure high quality too. The brand.
Staff, do you guys have any comments?
Just a reminder that Boulder Ridge is Zone BMP, Business and Manufacturing. So clean indoor manufacturing isn't allowed use there. And retail, like you said, it's a kind of a mixed use. So it fits multiple uses in that zone. We've kind of done like a 30,000 foot view review of the site plan. It generally meets the commercial design standards, and then we'll do a deeper dive into the construction drawings after you finish this review.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions from the commissioners? I love it. Great.
Yeah.
I think
Is
it's-
there, so are you guys actually like, are you manufacturing anything there? Is there any sort of
There's a lot of like,
emittance or anything like that as far as pollutants or?
so they have
noise or-
some like sheet metal bending machines that will go in here. They get a lot of stuff brought in. There's no like heavy things. They do a lot of modification. So they'll get in materials and then they have to fit it for specific spaces. So they'll do cutting and bending of the actual metal or cabinetry or things of that nature. But they're not making all their cabinetry there. They're getting all that stuff shipped in and then they're retrofitting a lot of it.
Okay.
So it's mostly an assembly type facility.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do have like upholstery. They do all their own upholstery in-house, so they'll make all their own cushions and everything, but all their own materials come ready. And then they have a couple seamstresses that will actually be there and they do all the upholstery in-house.
Great. Any other questions?
No, just one comment that I have. So staff comments should be addressed, and one of those staff comments is just that there's a public utility easement that currently runs through the lot. I'm sure you're aware, and that will just need to be vacated.
Yep.
So that'll be addressed in the staff comments, but I just
Yes.
wanted to put that on the record. That's my only comment.
Okay.
Does that easement currently have any utilities in it, or is it just an
Ooh,
easement?
that's a good question.
No, it does not. When they built Boulder Ridge, they stopped the water line, and it was only a water line exclusive to Tokerville City from the tank out there on Anderson Junction, and it went through this property. It's just a T in the asphalt right there as the road comes down, and then they send it both ways around
Oh,
in the
okay.
existing roads. So the new existing roads is where it now exists. So there is no water lines or anything there now.
Okay.
And it's only Tokerville's easement.
Okay. I entertain a motion.
I move to approve the preliminary site plan for the Van America on Lot 4 of Bullard Ridge contingent upon compliance with staff comments, commercial design standards, JAC review, and all applicable Tokerville City standards and specifications.
I second it.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. Get it built.
Yeah.
They want to open by like spring next year, so.
Oh, that'd be great.
That actually works, but.
Yeah.
Have you got a clearance on Boulder Ridge out there yet, Darren?
Clearance, what do you mean? Oh, as far as final acceptance of construction, yes, they've already got their CO of the entire subdivision.
Okay,
now.
so
We started the 1-year warranty period on the subdivision.
great, great.
So, yep.
Okay, item number D2, sign permit application submitted by Star Sign, Inc. on behalf of SRC Land Holdings, Comet LLC. Do we have somebody here representing the signs or representing them?
So my name is Stephen Wood. I'm with Firelight and SRC Land Holdings. We have a few signs that we like to put up throughout the Firelight development. Some of them we feel like are pretty self-explanatory. Others, I don't know if there's fully a mechanism in place to be able to get those approved.
Yeah.
The
Could
main
you,
ones.
could you
Can you
speak
speak
up
up
a little bit?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
thank you.
Better. Stephen Wood with Firelight. There are some of these signs that I feel like is a clear mechanism to get approved. There's others that we're coming to get feedback from you guys and to see if it's possible to gain approval for those. Within the city ordinances, it is allowed to have up to 100 square feet of signage for residential developments when there's more than, and I apologize, I think it's how many?
Well, it's each additional 10 units.
Yes.
Additional square feet, up to 100.
Up to 100 square feet. And so we do feel like because of the number of ERUs that Firelight has, we'd like to have these signs that are 96 square feet to be placed at the entrance of Firelight on both the north side and the south side along the Tokerville, I don't know what we call that, Parkway, I guess, the Tokerville Parkway going along there. You can see the two locations for the main signs. The one would be along the west side on the north end, and then the other one would be on the north side of the, I don't know if you call that the southeast end. And that would just be to tell people that they're entering into Firelight. These signs are, we are planning on those being temporary in nature. We're planning on submitting an MPDO application or a modification, I apologize, MPDO modification for permanent signage. But we would like for that signage to be larger than 100 square feet. And so that's something that you can see from us down the road. This is not for that. This would just be temporary for now. And then we'd like to explore having larger signage for our entrances into Firelight down the road.
When you say temporary, how long is temporary?
I would say a year, depending on how our modification goes and the feedback that we get here.
Okay.
As far as there are some smaller signs that you can see right here. These are more, I would say flags, but they're metal, so they're not going to flap in the wind at all.
Yeah.
And again, it's just to tell people where they're at, that it is a part of Firelight. As far as I know, no signs like this have been approved in the city of Tokerville in the past. It is something that we would really like to see. It's something that we feel like would be really beneficial for us as a development. And again, we do feel like that there's enough ERUs to establish the need to have more
What
than
do
just
you
two
mean by
things.
DRU? Can you,
ERUs?
Oh, ERUs, sorry.
ERUs, yes.
oh, gotcha.
Residential
Okay, I
units.
figured it was something. okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought you were saying
Homes.
DRU.
I apologize, yes.
Okay.
And so those signs would be placed right there, next to the sales trailer that we have.
And those are temporary as well, correct?
Yes,
No.
they,
Okay.
yes, they are. This is not going to be permanent. There's going to be commercial development here in the upcoming years.
Yeah.
And so I would say temporary, probably longer in place than the main signs
Okay.
that we're talking about. But this would not be forever. This is, all of these signs are, I would say, temporary in nature. One would be probably closer to 1 year. These I could see being 3 to 4 years at least.
Staff, any comments?
I think he covered it well. I do think that these blade signs fall under a development sign. They're just smaller, but they do include the name of the developer or the name of the subdivision, which is by definition what a development sign is. They can include things like the architect information, but they don't have to. For them, they just have Firelight. So all the signs, even the larger ones, meet the height and square footage of a development sign. We do have 2 approved development signs already for the active adult community. So these are similar in nature to those, and you approved those last year around the same time.
Okay, yeah. I think that it's obvious why they're needed. I don't have any
Legal?
other.
You
Yeah,
want
I think he's brought up some good points. Like, we don't allow for signs bigger than 100 square feet. Looks like what's in front of you tonight, like, would comply with our ordinance. There's pretty vague guidance in terms of development signs, but I think that these signs meet that definition. There's no limit on number of development signs. Like I said, our code's pretty vague when it comes to development signs, except for we do have a pretty strict size limitation. So as far as what's before you tonight,
What's within that?
it's within what you could approve. Anything bigger than that, we wouldn't be able to approve. It would be either, an amendment to the city code or potentially an MPDO modification, like you mentioned. I think this has come up a number of times. Our code doesn't quite contemplate a lot of these situations that have come up more recently with large scale residential projects and commercial projects. So really good point. As far as what's in front of you tonight, it does comply with the code, in my opinion.
I really like this bigger sign here. It's beautiful,
Yeah.
actually, and I think it goes well with the area.
I think it'll give
Yeah.
us a good opportunity to get a feel for what that size is in real life, since we haven't really had the opportunity to drive past that and say, okay, how does this feel in scale for what we're looking at, and potentially, their request for going larger in the future.
So are these going to be double-sided on the big ones or just entry one-sided?
As far as I know right now, they're only one-sided.
Oh.
So it'd just be the entry sign side.
Okay.
That's what I saw with the thing, so.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the commissioners?
Just a comment, I mean, that sign's 8 feet tall by 12 feet wide, that's approaching like billboard proportions almost,
But it's within.
It's within our codes, I don't know if we can't approve it, but, I would personally like to see any signs like this, bigger than 4 by 8.
The one part of the reason for us of why it's so important to have our signs at this size, and then our permanent signage, we'd like it to be a little bit larger. And again, we'll come back in that process, is because of the right of way for the parkway. This is off the road significantly, and I apologize, I don't know off the top of my head how far it is, but if you hit the side of the parkway, and then I believe it's another
30, it's about 30 feet off of the white line of the edge of the parkway, which we don't have those, and we don't have the other 2 lanes in on that side yet either.
So here they have the existing road edge labeled, and then this is the right of way, and the sign's 30 feet out from there.
And so as you look at that, I mean, you're
So it's
potentially,
ways back away from the.
yeah, like on the one location, you're looking at 90 feet potentially away from the road. And so for us, we need it as large as possible for right now.
I guess I
when it
want
comes to
to
that.
just ask a question. So we're kind of like bouncing around 2 different things. So some signs that do comply with the ordinance, like they're clearly within the square footage limitations. And then there is a sign in here it's 96 square feet. So is that a development sign that would be outside of what we can approve?
No, 100 square feet
We
is,
can go up to 100.
yeah, up to 100 square feet.
Yes.
So basically, it's 3
it's
sheets
compliant.
of plywood.
Development sign shall not exceed 12 feet in height and not contain more than 32 square feet. Oh, okay. I see, sorry.
No, you're
Yeah.
good.
It's 3 sheets of plywood.
I actually can see why it's needful to be that large. I'm in real estate, so I understand the importance of signage.
Yeah.
I think it's tastefully done, and I don't have any problems with it.
Okay, any other questions, concerns? Do we have a motion? Sounds like we're having some rain outside.
I'd like to move to approve the sign permit for 6 development signs within the approved Firelight MPDO.
Do we have a second?
My second.
We have a second? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion.
Thank you.
What's going on out there?
We don't know what to do when it rains like
Well, we're going to make this a short meeting, but maybe we don't want to go out.
Okay.
Okay. Item number 3, Hillside Development Permit submitted by Firelight Development, Inc. for Sun River at Firelight, phase 8 through 16. Applicant, identify yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Austin Chappell. I'm with American Consulting and Engineering. We are the civil engineer for the Firelight development. What's being presented here tonight is just the hillside application for the future phases in the Sun River area of Firelight. This is also an area known as Pond Hill. So the next phases are phases 8 through, right now it's 8 through 16. Nothing real unique or special. There's no special considerations. I feel like we've met the hillside ordinances and we comply with the code. So it's just a matter of going through the process for approval.
Okay, applicant, staff, Darren?
Yeah, so basically, this is very similar to the other ones that we've done in the Indigo area. Essentially, in your package, you have a recommendation letters from the attorneys and the city engineers as well. Everything seems to be in order with their densities, everything else. So no, there was no red flags that came up as far as anything. So there's as you can see on the slope map there, you can see there's a little teeny bit of the 30% grades. Some of that 30% grade was created by the pond that they built back in the day, and some of the 30% was created by the actual construction of the parkway. And then there's a little bit on the end, but the city engineer, his basic comment is there's not enough acreage of that 30% to try to preserve that somehow, because you won't see it anyway, because you can develop so close to between the top of when it gets 29%, and then and then it comes back in and does back into the between 15%, I believe, and thereabouts. So as you can see, the colors, the green, the yellows, the reds, the oranges, it's a small area there, and they are not. You can see a lot of it there. They will not be grading on the downhill. You can see on the lower left of the screen there, you can see a bunch of red. There again, that's outside the boundary of what they will be developing.
Okay.
Yeah, the only concern this pretty much always comes up with hillside that we have from a legal perspective is when you have these hillsides, you have retaining walls. Right. So you just want to make sure that like maintenance, repair, replacement of those retaining walls is going to be addressed, needs to be addressed ideally in the final plat under the CC&Rs. So we would recommend making that a condition to approval, that they just make sure to iron out the maintenance of the retaining walls in their CC&Rs.
So where are we at right now as far as the city's liability for, let's fast forward, this is completely built 5-10 years down the road or whatever, we have a big storm come through, and then we got, and this I think pertains to the next one that we're looking at, is that Meridian, where it's a lot steeper.
So phases 1 and 2 are right there to the top left of the screen.
Yeah.
So as Meridian is over the top,
Right.
and towards Westfield and that side.
Right.
So that's your next agenda item.
Right,
But,
which is, yeah.
yeah, but this one's separate from that. This is along the planning area number 1.
Right.
The 55 and older communities. As far as drainage and things such as that, I've seen with our preliminary plat approval, when we did that, we asked for a preliminary drainage report. We've seen that. The storm water is going to be handled inside of storm drainage inlet boxes and detention areas. It will mostly go to a low area south of the phases of the existing houses that are built right now. So it is, all of that is being addressed.
Okay, but in the event that any of the retaining walls were to be compromised for any reason.
And so
Yeah,
that's what Kayla's talking
That's why we're
about.
always saying every time we see one of these hillside development permits, we need to make sure that like maintenance of these areas, like especially the retaining walls, is addressed in the CC&Rs. And from a legal perspective, we're going to make sure that burden's off the city.
Right, so is there a
Exactly.
homeowners
Make sure it's a homeowners
association in
association.
that will take responsibility, and is that written into their CCNRs?
Yes,
As far as the.
it will be addressed, so it's their choice whether they want it to be the homeowners or the association, if you one or the other. It's not going to be the city.
Okay,
We make sure of that, and that's why we're explicit about it. But it's HOA or owners, they'll have to specify that. But we recommend making it a condition now so that they know it's coming and we don't surprise at final plat.
Not on those on the final plat as well as CCNR. So it's not just in one place. If somebody purchases that property, they're gonna have multiple opportunities, at least two, to realize that, hey, we're responsible for that retaining wall when we buy this lot. Or the association
Yeah, we'll
is.
be covered if we just put it in the CCNRs, but most often, we always make them put it on the plat too as a
Yeah.
note. It'll just be in the general notes section. We'll have a note that says, retaining walls in this area are the responsibility of the homeowner or the association, whatever they choose. It's ultimately their choice. But we do that to protect the city because if you don't do that, there is the risk that it could fall on the city.
Yeah,
So that's why we're so explicit about it.
And
no,
you'll-
nobody wants to pay for it, so it's
Yeah.
always gonna
Right.
be pointing
Nobody wants to give
fingers,
those
yeah,
walls.
exactly.
And you'll see those kind of notes on like golf courses that are the communities that are built around a golf course. They'll put some sort of hey, your house is probably going to get hit with golf balls.
yeah.
Because they want
Is
to
it-
replace that.
I have a question for him. Is it already in the CCNRs? Is it written or yet or not?
So it's currently not in the CCNRs. It is something that we are addressing. I have a draft that should be
Okay.
done this week. And then we will provide it to the city to review
Okay.
and make sure that they're on board with. And then we'll get it recorded against all of the property throughout Firelight.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
well aware, but we just make it a condition. every
Yeah.
So we just need to see that when you're done. Yeah.
Yes.
Before they can record the final plat. So
So what will
it's just-
happen is we'll review the CCNRs, your attorney will review the CCNRs, and we'll go through and make sure that that's been addressed. We'll also make sure it's a note on the plat.
Okay.
I remember when you first brought this in, you said you were going to do that.
Yeah.
Those questions.
Yes. And that's something that we've been working on and making sure that we're clear with because it isn't, what we want to be careful of is that it doesn't all fall on the homeowner in every situation. And we want to make sure that the homeowners are protected. We want them to be happy and want to live here for a very, very long time. So that's what we've been working through on our end.
Yeah, they haven't recorded a final plat though in an area that would have this issue. So that's why it hasn't been addressed yet.
That's right.
But they will not record until it's addressed and they know that.
Can we get a copy of that or see that once that's
At the
finally
CCNR.
recorded so that we can use that as a template or a benchmark for any other future hillside developments that we look at? It's kind of like, well, this is what
Each
we're
one's
gonna.
individual.
Right, but as kind of like, well, here's the baseline of what we did first.
The CCNRs are public,
Okay.
so you could see them in a recorded document.
Yeah, we could get a copy of it.
Yeah.
I think I would
right
be-
now because they keep getting like conditional approvals or approvals.
Right.
But they haven't actually recorded a final plat, so I
Okay.
can't make them do that until
Okay,
they actually record the final plat. But we could potentially do that. Know that like the attorneys will look at that and
Yeah.
make sure it's good to go before they're ever allowed to record a final plat.
okay.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't want those, you don't want those things.
Right.
Okay.
The only other things that I had for comments was just, the engineering comments on here that I think are kind of duplicates on both areas. I noticed here, the city will need to require strong fences for safety at these locations where it's that larger drop-off
Yeah.
areas. So how is the city addressing
So what
that?
we will require is that building permit that they'll need to put, and they already plan on putting CMU walls, which is concrete masonry
Right.
walls. They're not planning on putting chain link fences or
Right.
wood fences. That was their concern there based on our ordinances that it says, there should be things that in place that would keep somebody from hazardous falls or things like
Right.
that.
I believe that
I
was
do
on
have
the
that
letter from
actually.
Meridian, right? We're
So-
on Sunrise or Sun
Yeah,
River.
from
Okay.
yeah, so I do have well, I can just read it right now because it's going to apply to both this one and the next
And the
one.
next one, yeah.
Let me read this email. It's a clarification on that, what you're looking at on that paragraph A. You're reading that for the strong
The
fences.
prohibit development of uses which land
Yeah,
result
so,
in
so you see
situation.
Alpha's comment there, as it says, it's addressing that.
Right,
They did the attorney asked that they further clarify that. So they wrote an email and they are sending us a memo with their letterhead and things tomorrow, basically stating this. And it says that the comment at the bottom of page 3 and top of page 4 concerning the strong fences at the large elevation drops between lots is intended to protect against hazardous conditions that will be present in the development. Strong fences such as wrought iron or CMU should be placed along the high side at all locations where a 4-foot or higher elevation difference occurs within a slope of 1-to-1 or steeper. Wooden or chain link fences that are weak or easy to tip over are not recommended. And I know they don't plan on putting wood fences or chain link or something
Yeah.
that would be that. As we spoke with Bruce yesterday, I think it was, he just said he thought that would be appropriate when they pull the building permit, that wall is appropriate to put on there.
We can certainly make it a condition to approval right now.
Correct.
And site developments, like, you have these permitted uses in the zone, but like, is it actually feasible? Can we safely do this? So this is the city's time to say, like, if there's conditions that make it safe, we can impose those.
Okay.
So are ponds still protected? We talked about before that
Yeah.
might be enlarged and made into a nice park, community park around that pond.
And they're working with the water district now. It's not our property, it's their property. Yet the pond is not ours, it's the water district's. The water district's the one that's approached them, and they've talked about doing I'll let him speak to that.
So we have met with the Water Conservancy District to understand better. As of right now, from what we understand, they don't plan on enlarging the pond. Our goal, and we haven't finalized the plan for it yet, but our goal is to have a park up there. You can see that there's room along that side where we don't have lots. We'd like to have a park there. And then we want to take down their chain link fence with the razor wire on top. They do that because they're concerned that the pond is a very steep drop off. And if someone fell in, they feel like it'd be really challenging for someone to get out. And so we're figuring out how to design that. We plan on, as we develop these lots, there will be a park up there, and we'd like to make it look good and include the water in that. That water is important to not have fish or really anything in there at all. And so for us, we want to be able to look at it, have it look good, but also keep people out of it. So.
Gotcha.
And that
Yeah.
pond will remain the district's.
Yeah.
Because it's important to the reservoir,
Yeah.
What is the source of the water to that pond?
the springs.
It is the springs.
Yeah, that's our irrigation pond, basically, that
Yeah.
feeds the secondary system in
Yeah.
Tokerville. Not ours. I shouldn't say that because it's not ours yet.
Well, right.
It's the water districts. They own everything, the pipes, the infrastructure, the
Yeah.
ponds, the pumps, the everything.
Okay.
So they used to use that, and I've seen it for dipping for fire protection too. But I guess.
I don't know, the fire district would have to talk to that. I don't know if they would I know they've allowed certain people to use ponds, but
And in the
that
emergency.
fluctuates quite
Yeah.
often, so the reliability of it is kind of, sometimes in a dry season, as you all know, that have been here a while, there's been times when they ask not to water out of your irrigation because the irrigation pond, the springs are not producing enough water to get enough irrigation water into that pond. So that's why, and it's whole different subject, but
Yeah.
you want to.
There'll be hydrants and things for fire protection for these lots,
Yes, and the
obviously, once
culinary-
they're developed.
Exactly. Culinary water is available to all those fire hydrants in this whole area.
Any more questions for the applicant?
No.
Okay. And entertain the motion?
I'll try it. Okay, I move to recommend approval of the hillside development permit for Sun River Firelight subdivision phases 8 through 16, contingent upon requiring maintenance responsibility in the CCNRs and/or HOA.
It would be in the CCNRs, yeah.
CCNRs,
Gotcha. For the walls.
for maintenance of the retaining walls.
Yeah, maintenance of the retaining walls. And then we probably want to address the steep slopes. We want CMU walls,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Where the engineer has specified. So just concrete masonry walls where the engineer has specified on the back sides of those steep slope lots.
That's to mitigate
Okay.
the hazardous hillside.
Comply with this.
So to comply with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
engineer's recommendation for that,
Yeah, there you go.
did I say enough?
Yeah. that's
Okay.
good.
That works.
Okay, we got a motion. We have a second.
I second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item D4, hillside development permit submitted by Firelight Inc. for Meridian at Firelight Phase 1 through 3. Applicant?
This one, similar situation, just a different planning area, part of Firelight. This is down in the PA 11 area, known as Meridian at Firelight. This one does have a little more topography to deal with, a few more challenges, but as you can see, we've adjusted the layout of the lots to minimize the impact to those steeper slopes. And we feel like this layout and this application also meets the hillside requirements.
Okay.
Does the applicant own all of the land in phases 1 through 3 right now, or does it only own some of the land?
We own some of the land, we don't own all of that land.
Oh,
Okay, what's an easy way is it like you guys own phases 1?
Phase 1.
Okay, and then 2 and 3 are just like affiliate entities? Or, sorry, they haven't even been transferred from Westbrook yet.
That's.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
So one of the
Which
conditions to,
which portion of the map is that?
So you'd have to go to the phasing map.
Oh, the whole thing there?
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Phase 1 is at the bottom as the Westfield enters the site. So
Oh,
then it
okay.
expands to 2 and 3 after that. It's a little difficult to see. I think it is
it's
labeled.
up to here, so it's this line straight down, and then it incorporates this line as well.
Okay.
So it goes down like this.
so they would have two accesses. They'll have grassy
Access here,
lane and
and then down along Westfield.
And with phase 1, they will complete the Westfield Road connection to the parkway.
So approval of phase 2
Yeah.
and 3 is
for
conditional.
phases 8 through 16 that we just approved, you own all that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so approval for phase 1, you can just recommend approval, and then for phases 2 and 3, you can only recommend conditional approval. It has to be conditioned upon them obtaining title to the land.
I see.
I have a question. If you go to the overall grading plan, H.4-1, and I'm looking at the cross sections, which is AA, and then also BB and CC, along the left-hand side hillside where the grade becomes much, much steeper. So if you look at, there's hash marks, kind of the black-gray hash marks along that. And then if you actually go to the next plan, which shows the slope and elevation, and that is on drawing H.4.2. The far left, if you look at lot 75 where it hits that slope, I don't see anything as far as a retaining wall. What are we doing to mitigate erosion on those far left lots where it bumps up against that steep slope?
Could you zoom in on that a little?
So there's a 70-foot drop there.
Yeah.
So your very existing grade on the left at station, probably one plus a pair, or two plus a pair, I'm sorry.
So this pertains to lot 75, 73.
You've
And
got,
with
yeah, so it's
60.
on page H4-2 or 4.2. It's a little very left there, Austin.
That slope there, the one-to-one slope that's being shown there.
Yeah, that's tying into the existing.
If you go to the very far left, that last lot on the left where it hits that corner slope, you see that?
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. Okay. So you can kind of see that the existing slope is already quite steep through that zone. So where we're tying in with the proposed finished grade there, we would work with our geotech engineer to provide some erosion protection. He would give us some recommendations, some kind of rock lining or some riprap or some
Just so you
treatments.
Just so you know, when we get to the construction drawing phase of that, it basically, we do not allow a one-to-one slope without some sort of retaining.
Okay.
It'll have to be a wall.
And the drainage there would go,
They go out to the street.
Drainage would be captured in a roadside ditch along the street and then be captured and conveyed by the storm drain system.
Yeah, so from the back of the lots, we require all the back of the lots to go to the street. Now, if they have a walkout basement scenario happening, we're requiring that they have a drainage, basically a pipe that will take that out to back to the street and have it an easement, a drainage easement. Not an uncommon thing.
Okay.
And we've briefly, very conceptually talked about that. So when you look at a profile or a cross section through there, you need to look at this sheet plus the plan view to kind of understand what Dean's talking about there too. So,
but it's your responsibility to make sure it's done right and engineered and designed and
Yeah.
approved
yeah.
to comply.
So yeah, we'll work with, like Austin saying, we'll work with the geotech engineer. We don't work with, we approve what they design and propose to us, as well as our engineering will reviews these plans in depthly as well. And not these plans, these are not the construction plans, these are just the hillside development permit.
You guys build on anything easy?
Yeah, phases 1, 2.
Yeah, the easy ones.
Four,
Sun River was easy, right? Nice and flat.
and these are,
There's not much in the way of easily developable property left.
Yeah,
out there.
yeah. Now they're getting into the fun stuff.
Good view lots though.
Yeah,
yeah,
That's a
Yeah,
really
very
cool
pretty.
view from the top of that hill.
very,
I
very.
guess the only comment I have is where we have it matching up to the existing development where they're 1 acre lots and where you have the bigger lots to match up on the backside. I'm always curious and protective of the existing, which they're not built on yet, property owners, that you kind of match the lot lines so you don't have 2 sets of yards or houses behind you. And instead of one, kind of match it to lay it out, but it's all designed by engineering. And you have to make those numbers fit and things like that. And I've noticed a few of them offset and things like that.
Okay.
But that's not our job. It's in compliance with zoning and everything else.
It's pretty close. As you get down towards the, closer to the Westfield Road area there's a few lots that have, and they are within inside of our code. They don't go over the 12-foot walls, but they can go back, they can go 12-foot step back and then go another 12-foot or 10. They're not proposing that yet here. But then you'll have a walkout basement as well with a house that has a backyard that's elevated and then you got a first floor
Yeah.
that ties into that. And it's only, the conceptual plans that I've looked at, it's a couple of houses there. You are right. So,
I always call it California building where you look out and it's your neighbor's bathroom when you look right into it. I hate that. I also hate California, excuse me, I hate it. They let them build and then it all floods and burns up and everything but I just want to just make sure that 50 years, people are still happy and have a good home.
of course. And these will have that same CC&R provisions as well as final plats. So that it becomes the responsibility of either the property owners or the HOA.
What's the timeline for starting this section of the development?
What are we looking at, Stephen, in the next 6-ish months, 9 months?
Yeah, we'd like to get started sooner than that.
So we,
For us to be able to, it doesn't make sense for us to put in Westfield Road, which we know is a key item for the city right now, unless we put in these lots that are above it. And so for us, we would like to get working on a grading permit in the near future. And then once, hopefully we can get this hillside passed, and then we'll have construction plans and plats that we'll submit to the city. We'll just do phase 1 to start.
And you're going to access Westfield and construction from the bypass road or? not through the neighborhoods.
Yes.
You gotta minimize the impact and comply with the sound ordinance and construction time limits.
Yeah, just like the other phases, they're required to stop at certain times and start at certain times. So, yeah.
Thank you for doing that on behalf of the citizens that are affected by that. They'll be really happy.
Well,
They're not gonna be happy anyway.
Well, I mean,
They'll
because
complain if you don't do it right. That's for sure.
I think they'll be happy to get it resolved. Yeah.
And these are the first phases that are actually happening within the town up against
Yeah.
neighbors, right? So-
That's true.
well, 4 through 7 we've got neighbors out there already.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
they've got people living in those.
Right.
Okay. Legal?
Yeah, from a legal perspective, I'll just make your motion complicated. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot to add on.
yeah,
but-
there's, so same concerns as we had on, we're gonna pretty much have these same concerns with any hillside development permit. So, we need to make sure that the maintenance of the retaining walls addressed in the CCNRs. We need to make sure that they comply with the engineer's recommendations. They have the same recommendations because these slots also have, the steep hillside on the backside. So we want to make sure we have the CMU walls on the backside. And then lastly, phase 1, we can recommend approval, but phases 2 and 3, we can only recommend conditional approval because title hasn't vested in the applicant. They don't own the land yet.
Somebody write all that down?
I got one part of
I only
it.
took notes on the last part, so you want to try it, Mila?
I'm gonna give it a go, but I'm gonna
Okay.
need some assistance from my friends here. Let me make sure I've got the right one here. Is this even the right one? Let me go back. Sorry. Sun River, is this 8 through 16?
Nope, Grand Meridian,
It's-
phases 1 through 3.
Hang
1 through
on.
3.
Let me go back here. I thought I had printed that one out, but I didn't.
Page 48, if that helps.
Yeah, page 48.
All righty, found it. Okay, I move to recommend approval of the hillside development permit for Meridian at Firelight subdivision phases 1 through 3, with the conditions that they adhere to the maintenance of the retaining walls,
They address the maintenance of retaining walls in the CCNRs.
okay, in the CCNRs. The other part was approval of phase 1, but
We can recommend approval of phase 1, but phases 2 and 3 can only be a conditional approval because they need to obtain title.
right, and then also to address the hazardous hillside area with,
The engineer's recommendations to follow those.
thank you. Is it
Okay.
just those 3 things?
It was just those 3,
Okay.
you got them.
I second it.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you coming out. You bring your wives and you can make it a hot date. No. You bring your kids and then we're Okay. Reports, Planning Commission Chair. I really have nothing to report tonight. So appreciate staff, and everything that staff does for us. Appreciate the community and the engineers to bring us plans and our legal staff that comes and tries to make sure we're doing it right. And I appreciate all the planning commissioners for their time, effort. I sat and looked at this 80-something pages or 72 pages. I go, well, I sure hope they understand it because I do understand it. I went through everything and looked at it. And then I go, well, I can't redline it.
I'll tell you, plan reviews are lengthy.
Yeah.
I've done
There's a lot of
plan
maps,
reviews.
a lot of graphs, yeah.
Planning commissioners, do you have anything to share with us tonight?
Nope.
Okay.
I second all the gratitude there. So.
Well, lots of gratitude.
Thank you.
Yes.
Emily,
I don't have a ton. Darren's going to do a little slideshow that will cover a lot of planning updates, but I will update you and let you know we received an annexation petition from Solara. So there's a couple of steps in the process that City Council and I will go through, and then you will see it for a public hearing to recommend the zoning. So
do we expect that next meeting?
I don't think it'll be next meeting. No, we have a protest period and a certification period, and so probably the following meeting, if not a special meeting. But I'll keep you up to date.
Okay, thanks.
Darren, do you have anything else, Emily? Darren?
So I'll try to make this as quick and painless as possible.
We love your reports.
So
I watched it the other night.
Oh, we get this
everybody
last this
says,
time.
everybody says I take too much time, but anyway, I was asked to give this, and I apologize for people who've already seen this a little bit, but our city projects, let's start with the Westfield Park. If any of you have been out there and taken a look at it, we're substantially complete. We did a walkthrough this morning with the contractor. There's the guys are actually putting in irrigation pipes to be able to, for sprinklers and different things such as that right now. If you remember at the very beginning of the design or the construction, we had to do a substantial over excavation because of all of the material that was there. That kind of shows you you can see where they had those machines down in there, and this is on the way back up after they were compacting it, but they had to go down 5 feet in that area and remove concrete and old limbs and all kinds of stuff so that the pickleball courts would actually not sink or crack. And so as of about a week ago, so you can see the dirt additional parking that is now paved. The grass area, future grass, is where the guys are actually digging right now and putting in the pipes. The pickleball courts are complete. They're 100% finished, but they're closed and locked right now. And it depends on city council when we open those. So.
Putting lighting in over there?
There will be eventually, so there is conduit that goes around them, power conduit. The lighting would be from the outside pointed in, just because they didn't want to have any intrusions or holes or anything that would let water get down underneath the pad. And so, that would be a future thing that they'll do. So right now it's dusted on,
So I understand there's a sod laying party coming up?
There is. Emily, do you know what date that is? I can't remember. It's coming up soon. It's September. Yeah, it's on, sorry, got our computer locked up here, but it's towards the end of the month.
If you call it divots and think they're playing polo, then they can do the divots.
Yep. So Interstate Rock's been working with us to get that all complete. So like I said, Interstate Rock, the contractor, they are substantially complete as of this morning. They've got a few small things that they're going to work with us and help us do. So, as you know, was right before you this is planning area 11, also known as Meridian. This is all of the phases that you're seeing. This was what you guys approved as the final site plan, as well as the city council for this area. That's kind of right there is where it's at. In the lower right corner is where the Westfield Park is. You can kind of see that photo. Kind of gives you an idea of how that falls there. It's not exact. That's not survey grade lines on there. That's just approximate. And then this is the Meridian or Indigo area where they've got the park and the 2 accesses off of the parkway. They'll be extending the Westfield Road up to the south and everything. This is also one of what you guys and city council approved as the overall site plan for the area. I should have said this, I forgot. So on Meridian, on that last one, there's 222 units with 8 phases. And on Indigo, there's 675 units with 5 phases. And then, so that's basically the first phase that they're pretty much got they have it graded out. They've started the undergrounds for sewer, water, storm drain, things such as that in this area. But it continues on out that other way. So here is again, the planning area 1, which is the 55 plus area. You can see right in the center of the map is their clubhouse. And then to the left of that is the first two phases. And then there you see that right there. Now they're doing dirt on that left side there, moving dirt. They've also been they've started to put infrastructure in that as well. So they're beyond the grading. This is kind of an interesting just photo. So this was about 27 months ago. The parkway was not complete as of yet. And so this is for phases 1 and 2. And often just for a kind of a side note, the Silver Cliff subdivision that's up there where you can see, and that is also the area also known as the Devil Toll area.
Yeah.
So then this here was about 18 months ago. The parkway was not quite open quite yet. They had started, had quite a few of the improvements finished, and they had started to build that first home. That's basically the first of the year in 2026, January. That's the first two phases. And then today, you've got the Sun River 4 through 7 on the south side or the right of the screen. And then you've got future phases on the bottom of the existing development. And then what you saw also tonight on the hillside there, the pond, the irrigation pond is above the words there. And then also the clubhouse on the left-hand side. So you can see there, once we hit the first of the year, things ramped up and they're starting to move. So
How many residents are in already?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
How many?
Through there when I
The-
saw one.
They've got some CO, they've got more COs than people that are living there, so. So people could move in, I guess.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just another note, interest here is the Tocqueville Reservoir as about a week ago. You can see the dam there on the
Wow.
top of the screen. All of that material is coming off of the top of Anderson Junction out there. A great portion of it also is coming from right across the street from the Sapp Brothers. You see all that dirt being moved and they're moving like crazy. We are working on a recreational area there on the right-hand side of the screen, top right-hand side. And the city council is working with the state parks. Just another view. So I'm hovering over the top of our new 2 million gallon tank. And that you can see that's right there across over the top of the ridge from the dam. And off in the distance is the Solara, as Emily spoke about a little bit.
Were you standing on top of the 2 million gallon
My
tank?
drones fly in it. Sorry. It's interesting to fly out there because they've still got that from that fire that was in Pine Valley. Interesting note, sorry. That every time I get up to 120 meters, it tells me there's fire restrictions still. So
Really?
yeah, so I think they're gone, but maybe my drone hasn't done the updates or whatever. But so I don't ever fly above what it lets me. So don't want to be anywhere near active fire. So anyway, as you know, this is the Sapp Brothers. This is just before they opened. This was a slide that I had to get really quickly for another meeting that I presented to the county. So, and
I see they haven't been moving any of that dirt we approved.
I just barely got a phone call from the contractor that we approved on that to the left there of the screen. I just barely got a phone call from him today. I've been not really pushing anything there. I just kind of let that organically, go on because they can get a grading permit and you guys gave them approval, 6 months ago or better. And you gave them I think it was a year or something like that to complete it, but I don't know what's going to happen there 100%. So I'll touch base with him tomorrow. He called me around 5:30, I noticed. So then just this here is basically that borrows that are on the top of the screen there is what they're grabbing that's building the dam. The commercial subdivision is coming soon there across from IME Automation. The commercial subdivision has not been officially, they haven't, Fred's here.
Your time's up, Darren.
Okay.
Shut that off.
Sorry.
That's probably it. Anyway, so that application is not complete. So it's been sitting for a while.
So on that Barrels side on top, are they doing any master planning to
No,
make that a tabletop to build on or do something with?
No, it would be difficult for them. They'd need to develop water, get it up there. But the hard thing too is they would have to purchase property. The road that they're going, that dirt road that they're going across right now is just an easement from that property owner to the north. So, and the whole face of that area is 30%. So, they would have to be clear up on top, and then you start getting into the BLM property, the water district property. So it's the likelihood of maybe more than maybe one or two houses up there would be very slim at this point. So yeah, and that's kind of my, I forgot. So you're basically Maverick and the Van America there would be to the right of that Maverick site.
Are they getting ready to submit to start construction?
They've gone through the first review for the construction plans, and then we'll have final site approval. So, but yeah, the contractor came in yesterday and was asking where it was, and I said, "It's in your guys' court, man. Get me the documents back." So, anyway, that is it.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
I think the storm's blown over.
Yeah, we can go.